Hey everyone, and welcome back to the United Star. Today I have a very special guest with me. It's Panila Harder. I'm just kidding. It's Radha Lata Gupta from She Talks Ball. She's also a content creator for One Football and The Bridge. Welcome back to the channel, Radha. It's been a while. How are you?
Thank you for having me, Atanu. Glad to be back. I'm doing very, very well. We have a very important clash coming up. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So how did you like my small joke that I made right now?
It's so weird. I've been getting it so much, and I'm like, I'm not complaining with that. Like, sure, I'll take the compliment. But yeah, very good joke. I approve.
So let's just talk about Chelsea. Of course, in the first game of their season of the season, Chelsea lost to Arsenal at the Emirates. A very, very, very good game. I watched the whole game and I was like, okay, this is WSL at its peak.
Yeah,
3 goals for Arsenal, 2 goals for Chelsea. I think Erin Cuthbert and Pernille Harder scored for Chelsea.
yeah,
And in the second game against the so-called top three team, according to Willie Cook, you won 4-0, and that's a good
yeah.
score line. Fran Kirby, Bethany England, and Sam Kerr scoring a brace. So in these games, we saw a back three. Like last season, as far as I remember, we saw a back four from Chelsea, and this
Yeah.
time it's a back three. Of course, against Arsenal, it was a bit shaky, but I think against Everton, you did really well. The team did really well. So thoughts about how Chelsea are doing in the 2 games that they've played.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think having Arsenal, like an Arsenal-like opponent in our very first game, is very challenging because if you want to experiment with the back three and we have a result like we did, there's a little bit of underconfidence in that formation as a whole from the people watching, from the people maybe playing it as well. I'm sure they believe in their tactics, but it's just unfortunate to have Arsenal as a season opener. On the flip side, Arsenal finally getting a good win at the Emirates. The women just gave it to them. The fans got what they came for. I absolutely love to see that. I'm hoping we can kind of avenge some of that loss in the Kings Meadow fixture. But look, I think that opening game really, even if we were straying a little bit of into complacency or whatever it was, it's put us right back on track. I believe that Chelsea and Emma and the players don't really go into that overconfidence zone, but it's good to be set straight right at the beginning. We saw how they bounced back versus Everton. So I think this back three is something they are looking to implement for the long term. It seems to be that way. There is a little bit of a concern with Jess Carter being in that back three because she seems to be the weakest off the back. And then, of course, you just need one weak link to exploit a team. But, it's all about working together, building up that chemistry game after game, day in, day out in training. And hopefully they can implement what they've set out to do. It's a very interesting point in the season. It's just started, but 1 win, 1 loss, and then international window and coming back to United away. Very, very tough fixture. I think we didn't win United away last season as well. That was our season opener last time around, and it was a 1-1 draw. So it's always a very tough fixture. I mean, United have got Hannah Blundell from Chelsea now, and they're looking really strong in their 2 wins as well. So it'll be a very interesting fixture.
So Radha, if we've got Hannah Blundell, you've also got someone who scored the last time around against Chelsea. I think it's Lauren James. So do you think Lauren James might start in this game, or do you think she's still out?
Honestly, my heart is saying we're going to have a Lauren James winner because she loves Lee Sports Village. But I mean, we've not got any news of her coming back to training or, fighting for the first 11 spot or coming off the bench. So honestly, I am as clueless as you are. Again, I want to see a Lauren James winner. Always love that little bit of rivalry, and her getting on the score sheet versus her former team will be something that we will probably tease you guys about for a long time. But I think it's anyone's game. Hannah Blundell could get an assist for all we know, and I think that's the beauty of football. Players move around, but at the end of the day, whatever team they play for, they give it their all, and it's going to be a fascinating game.
Yeah, definitely. And you'd made a point about Jess Carter being that weakest link in the defense right now. I think you guys signed Aniek Nguyen from
Yeah,
the Dutch defender. So do you think
yeah.
she might fill in and become a big part? And this becomes a big partnership between Millie Bright, Magda Eriksson, and Aniek Nguyen.
Yeah, I want to see that, because we now have wing backs in Brighton and Cuthbert who are doing the running up and down. So we need a center backish person in the back three instead of a full backish person. And Anik has immense experience when it comes to the national team. She's sort of the I mean, when I look at her, I think of Leah Williamson, because still very young, 23, 24, center back, defenderish role, very experienced already. So although initially when she was signed, we were like, okay, she'll fight with Magda and Millie for a spot. She'll train under them. It'll be really cool to have a third center back. But now if we're changing the formation to three at the back, put Anik in there. She could, Millie could probably be in the center. Magda has played full back positions before, so she knows how to manage the left side. Anik can do the right side. I'd love to see that. They'd probably implement that in maybe a County Cup game or a game with smaller consequence initially, and then build on from there.
Yeah, I think this was something that I had in my mind, and I thought, why not ask Radha about it? So I think the conclusion of the Chelsea's two games in the WSL is like they are a wounded lion right now. Of course, the loss to Arsenal hurts, and they would want to come back and strike back against United. So I think it will be an open game. Of course, it's hard to predict something, but let's just talk about Manchester United right now. We saw the first game against Reading, 2-0 win. Ella Toon getting those two assists. Kirsty Hansen has been in a very good form right now. She's scored in every preseason game. She scored in the opener as well. Una Bhatia getting her first goal for Manchester United. Then a 3-1 win against Leicester City. I think that game the scoreline should have been 8-1 or 9-1 in the favor of Manchester United. The chance creation was so good, but we were a bit weak in the final third. But of course, you saw Maria Thorisdottir score her first goal for United, and another ex-Chelsea player. Tuni scored one amazing goal. I think Fran Kirby also scored a very good goal in the last game week, and it was between Fran Kirby and Ella Toon who would get the goal of the week. And I think Martha Thomas also scored her first goal for United. Many newcomers coming in and scoring those goals. And we saw Millie Turner getting that horrific injury. I hope she'll be fine. So, what do you make of Marc Skinner's first two games? He's back in the WSL. He's a man on a mission. He wants to outshine himself from the last time he was here. So, what do you make of his tenure right now?
Yeah, and also not just the last time he was in England, but he's had a stint in the NWSL, and I've been following that for a while. He coached the Orlando Pride, and they were really average in terms of like they had star-studded players, Alex Morgan, Marta, and they were still very mid to lower table-ish, right? And they were never really a threat. And obviously, Mark's name would come up when you'd wonder why a team filled with superstars is not performing. And sometimes it comes down to a coach who has players but doesn't know how to manage them. I think with Joe Montemurro and Arsenal towards the end, similar situation. You have Viv and Leah Williamson and DVD, but your team isn't clicking. So he made the shift back to England. I guess he's closer to family as well now. United, a spot opened up. He's like, man on a mission, like you said. I think it's really great for United that they had West Ham and Leicester in the first two matches, because it's going to be a little bit of a bitter taste in their mouth, having just ended fourth last season, coming to this, missing out on Champions League action, especially being top of the table in December. I think that's something that we forget. They were really, really strong in the first half of the season. So it's very clear that the way you start off the season is super important, and it's very good for Mark that you had these opponents that you were able to overcome, and sort of build up this momentum in time to face Chelsea, who are defending champions and who come in with a lot of eyeballs and expectations and XYZ. So I think 3 points for United at LSV versus Chelsea would be like the icing on a cake, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen, being a Chelsea fan. But look, I think United are just clicking. The way you're saying that newcomers are scoring and assisting, which shows that they're settling in really quickly. So credit to Mark, credit to the staff and the players who have existed at United for a while, getting these new players in, adjusting them into the lineup or off the bench, and results are being, sort of reaped.
Yeah, definitely. So you talked about Orlando Pride, and I just forgot that you follow the NWSL a lot. So I wanted to ask, was it an issue with Marc Skinner only, or was it, distributed overall in the squad?
I think it's a mixture of both. There's never a situation where it's just the coach or it's just the players. Similar to Arsenal and Montemurro, like it was surely him a little bit, but then also like the players are really skilled, so they should have been able to do whatever, right? So with Orlando Pride, it was almost like laughable at a point. Like, what do we even say? What is happening? No idea. How to fix it? No idea. week after week, the same thing was happening, and it was frustration getting built up into viewers as well. I was not a Pride fan, but still, I wanted to see them do well. Like, I want to see Marta and Morgan score. Sid Leroux, who, and by the way, Orlando Pride are like thriving now. So clearly, there was just a mismanagement, or they just didn't gel as coaching staff and playing players. And I guess this change was good for everyone in that sense.
Yeah, I think you're right over there that maybe it wasn't meant to be for Marc Skinner at Orlando.
Yeah. And that's okay. It happens.
Yeah. So now there's a special segment that we are bringing in. We've done this in our videos when we do the preview of the men's teams. So right now, this is the first time that we'll be doing it for the women's team. So Radha, we'll be talking about the combined best 11 of United and Chelsea players right now who are available. So let's start with the goalkeeper, Mariups versus Berger. Berger. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing
the name. It's Berger, yeah. It's Berger, and I have to go with Berger just with the season she's had, Golden Glove and everything.
Yeah, call it United bias, but yeah, I would love to have Herbs, but yeah, I think you're right that Berger has been the better player right now. So goalkeeper is Berger, Chelsea 1 player, United 0 players. I'll try to fill in from that. So coming to the full backs right now. So there's this thing in my mind. Una Bhatia has to be there.
For sure. In my mind, both fullbacks are from United.
I think the second fullback, it's between. I know Maria Thorisdottir plays as a centre back for United right now, but she also plays as a right back. She's also played as a right back. So because in my mind, centre backs are from Chelsea, so I would love to have Maria Thorisdottir on the right as the right back and Una Bhatia as the left back.
I think I agree. Ona for sure is on the left, no doubt. She's been on my fantasy team right from the beginning. She had that banger of a goal in the first week. I was like, I made the right decision. I think Millie and Magda centre-back partnership, it's a little bit of a no-brainer in the sense that, they've just stuck around together. Millie has her moments of like, what is happening kind of thing, but Magda has that sort of controlling role in the pair, and she says that Millie, move up, come back, whatever it is. So both of them together work. Millie outside without Magda might not have worked, but together that's a sorted center back pairing. I think Ona, Millie, Magda, and Thor, as you mentioned, I think that's perfect.
Yeah, so just to clarify for the viewers, it's Millie Bright who's from Chelsea and not Millie Turner, because Millie Turner is injured right now. And Millie Bright, I just want to talk about the game that she had against, I think, the England game that she played. She scored 2 goals for England as well. So she's been on top form as well. And
Magda, just to interrupt, Magda had a back heel flick as well. Yeah. So, they can score, they can defend, sorted.
Yeah. And Maria Thorisdottir also scored last time against Leicester City as well. So we've got a good squad.
And Ona has scored as well. So why do we even need forwards? Just put a lineup of defenders.
But when we talk about forwards, it's going to be a goal fest.
So, it is, for sure.
So I was thinking of going for a 4-3-3, 3 midfielders and 3 forwards. So 3 midfielders in my mind from Chelsea. I think the name's Ji.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
G has to be there. I think Atanu has to be there. No brainer about that.
Right.
The third midfielder, I am a bit, I'm in doubt. So I'll come to you. Who do you think should be the 3 midfielders?
So crazy enough, G and Ella Toon were on my list as well. And Ella Toon is, you'd argue that she can play up top, but we'll come to the up top in a bit. And that's why I've sort of pulled her back into the midfield role, because assisting all day, she's really good at cleaning up the ball and making an attacking pass, which is very important for a midfielder. G, on the other hand, is very good at doing the dirty work, which she does constantly for Chelsea. And it's very important in a team to have someone who does that. So G and Ella for sure. I'm going to go ahead and say Kirsty Hansen as the third midfielder. I
think Kirsty Hansen, I would put her as a forward player, as a winger player. So I would want Jackie Cronin to be in that role rather than.
Okay, so I mean, I didn't have her in my forward line, so I would put her in midfield as the right midfield, just because she's got extreme pace and she can run up and down.
So I'll do this. We are at an impasse, so I'll do this.
Yeah.
Let's just put Kirsty Hansen / Jackie Cronin, and then we'll come back to it after we discuss the forward line.
Sorted.
So forward, two names. I'm laughing right now, but it has to be there. Fran Kirby and Samantha Kerr. They have to be there. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. I completely agree, and I think my third.
I
I
know
mean,
for sure,
I
but
have to be. I
I
have to
don't
be
agree.
there. I know you don't. What's yours, Leah Galton?
Uh, yeah, I think the United fans might kill me if I don't take her name, but I would want
Mm,
Kirsty Hanser to be the third attack in the
fair enough.
third forward. But I think you make a valid point as well. Pernille Harder has to be there.
So
So
here's another proposition. Then we have Kirsty up top, and we have Pernilla/Jackie, and then we fight that out. Because I think Pernilla Harder can play in midfield as well. She's a
yeah,
great provider. She provided for Chelsea all season with Fran and Sam scoring. She just didn't have to do anything.
yeah.
So I think Kirsty, see, you put Kirsty somewhere, I've put her somewhere. So she is there in the 11. I think we can go ahead putting her forward. She's scoring. She's really quick. We'll have to have a little bit of a Pernil versus Jackie showdown in the
So I just
midfield.
wanted to confirm the forward lineup. So
Yeah.
we'll put Fran Kirby on the right wing.
Yes, for sure. Kirsty on the
Okay.
left.
Yeah, Kirsty
Yeah.
on the left. She can play as the left and on the right. So we'll put her as the
Yeah.
left winger, right winger, Fran Kirby, and
Yeah.
striker. Who else but
Sam.
Samantha Kerr?
Yeah, for sure.
So the third midfielder. Okay, so
Yep.
let's just count how many
Yep.
Chelsea players are there and how many United players are there. So if United players are less, I would want to bring in Jackie Gronin. So we'll talk. We have Ona Bhatia, we have Maria Thorisdottir, we
Yeah.
have Kirsty Hansen, we have Ella Toon. We have four players.
Yeah. So there are six Chelsea, is it?
Yeah,
Two.
Berger, Millie Bright.
Yeah, there are six Chelsea.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, but here's the thing, right? How do you make a team without Pernilla Harder?
How
Is
do
my
you make a
question.
team without Jackie Gronin?
Oh my God. Oh my
Okay, so
God.
we'll do one thing. We'll keep both of them, and it is up to the viewers who they think should be in the
Yes.
11. So
Yes. I like that idea. I'm
and
going to rally my
managers.
Chelsea followers
Yeah, we need
to come and
comments.
vote.
We need comments. We need comments.
We need comments, right? For
Yeah.
sure. I think that's
So
fair.
just from goalkeeper, from a defender, from a midfielder, from an attacker, four players extra are there. I would want four players on the bench as well.
Hmm.
So goalkeeper has to be Mariups. Let's
Mary, yeah.
yeah, defender. Who should be there according to you?
Mm. Who are the United centre backs?
Right now,
Millie,
it's just Aoife Mannion.
Aoife Mannion. Interesting. And who came in for Millie when Millie was out?
Thor
Thor
played.
came in.
Yeah, Blundell is also there.
Oh, that's so hard. I think I'm
Yeah,
going to go with, I feel like someone who can play both centre back and full back. We've already put Thor in the 11. So I'm
yeah,
going to take Anik now in just because
yeah.
she can
Sure,
play both. Yeah.
sure. I'll go with it. I wanted
Yeah.
something a unique player. So Anik Newman, of
Mm,
course,
yeah.
midfielder. So we'll do one thing. We'll not put the midfielder because we
Yeah.
already
The one
have two
who doesn't make
players.
it goes to the
Yeah,
bench.
yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Forward,
Forward.
I'll bring some names.
Okay. Yeah.
Bethany England, Alicia
Mm,
Russo, but I think Bethany England has been in a great form, so I would
yeah.
put Bethany England over there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so Beth England over there, and I wanted Beth England in place in the swap for Lauren James deal, but I think
Everyone did.
yeah, and she's
Yeah.
been doing good. Let's she's been
Surely.
doing good. So we
Yeah.
have our 11: Berger, left back Ona Bhatia, centre backs Millie Bright and Magda Eriksson, right back Maria Thorisdottir. The three midfielders being G, Ella Toon, and there's a bit of a conundrum between Jackie Gronin and Pernille Harder. The three forwards being Kirsty Hansen, Samantha Kerr, and Fran Kirby, the name who resonates inspiration. The last time Radha was here, we talked about Fran Kirby a lot. If you haven't checked out that video, the link will be in the description below. Do watch that video as well. So Radha, coming to the last segment of our video, who do you think will be a key player for Chelsea for this game?
Let's see. I think it's gonna be Erin Cuthbert, and I'll say that for a couple of reasons. One is she's in a new role as a wing back, which means she's running a lot more. Second reason is she had a goal and assist versus Arsenal, which is massive. Um, um, I feel like she's injured during the international break. I was reading some news, right? So
Yeah.
that's a bit unfortunate. Assuming she's playing, she would be a key feature, especially because she's up against Ona Bhatia, coming down the left side, and she's on the right, which is a big threat we need to control. So Erin, but if she's injured, I'm gonna go ahead and say G, just because again I said cleaning up the doing the dirty work, cleaning up all the leftovers, the spills here and there, and then again she has a creative spark, which is what we're gonna need to counter United. It's not just a case of pass and score. We're gonna need some creativity, something different, something unique to counter a very decent United side in great form. So yeah, that
I
would be my
think
pick.
we saw that creativity against Arsenal as well. When Chelsea were
Yeah.
trailing, she was going forward a bit more. So and one more thing, who do you think, according to you, would be a big threat for Chelsea from United's team?
Yeah, I think Ona is a threat always. Like she's not going to be more of a threat than she usually is, and she's anyways a great threat. So that is there. I think Leah Galton is going to be massive, and just the wingers, because our fullbacks are like trembling right now, and we are watching our fullbacks and trembling a bit. So our defense has just been a little bit sloppy in that sense, and sure, versus Everton, we did well, but then again, Everton is a very confused team right now. Willie Kirk is like all over the place. A bunch of great players not being managed well. Same story, we've heard it before. So they are not something that we can say that, oh look, we did this versus Everton, we can do it versus United. There's no comparison there. So surely the United wingers are gonna provide a lot of trouble to us.
Yeah, definitely. And there's not just the United versus Chelsea game on Sunday. It's Radha's
Yeah.
birthday as well. So
Oh
Radha,
yeah.
oh yeah. So Radha, predictions, the gift that you want from Chelsea, the scoreline.
Oh man, I would love to see a 2-1, just because it's sweeter to have a winner, when it's like we score, United equalize, and then we've got like a Fran Kirby winner, which is really special. So I'm gonna go ahead and say 2-1, and maybe even 3-1 if we are feeling it. When you were saying that it's not just a United versus Chelsea game, it's also something else. I thought you were gonna say it's Arsenal versus City, like late at night,
Oh,
because that's gonna be another thriller. And then
yeah.
you were like, it's my birthday. I was like, oh yeah, it is. But yeah, it is my 21st birthday, so I'm hoping for a Chelsea win. That'll be special.
21st, so she'll go for a 2-1 win. And I
Yeah,
think
there you
I
go.
think I'll be the devil's advocate, and I'll say we will see a draw. We'll see a 1-1 draw.
Yeah. Hence the winner, right? That's why like my thirst for a winner, because 1-1 draw is what I feel is gonna happen. But yeah, let's see. I'll surely be watching.
So a lot of ex-Chelsea players in the United team. We have Alicia
Yeah.
Russo, Jackie Groenin, Maria Torres' daughter, Hannah Blundell, four players, and Lauren James is over there. Maybe she starts, maybe she scores that winner, like Radha said.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Radha, for coming on the channel. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And, I liked a lot when we discussed that combined best 11. Got to know a bit more about the Chelsea players as well. And Radha is with She Talks Ball. They post videos on YouTube as well. Do subscribe to their channel. Do follow Radha on Twitter as well. Anything you want to talk about regarding women's cricket, women's football, women's sports in general, the one stop destination that I would recommend is Radha Lata Gupta. Thank you so much, Radha, for coming on the channel. We are the United Star. Do subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.